Alright guys, like I mentioned in another video, I got a lot of product to unbox and review, do some bench testing to show you. We're going to start off with the AOocci C9 Max. This is also known as a Gallop Sprite D8 Pro, and I suspect this is going to look very similar to the Nav N1 Pro. So let's turn the camera around and take a look. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do an unboxing of the AOocci C9 Max. So on the packaging, pretty decent packaging. It's got a feature list. I'll run through those real quick. 5.99 inch touchscreen, dual 1080p cameras, CarPlay, Android Auto, split screen display, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity. It says GPS navigation. Now this is going to come from your phone. This unit does not have GPS. TF or micro SD card support, loop and audio recording, screen mirroring, saying the same thing over again, IP67 waterproof, and then TPMS with pressure temperature on the C9 Max, which is what this kit is. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So you take the sleeve off. It's got a pretty nice box. Not a lot more information on here. It gives you the certifications that supposedly they have achieved with this device. Let's open it up. Alright, so we're immediately greeted with the product manual. Pretty basic. Basically just a little 4-page flyer. It's going to tell you of some cautions. USB power supply is unstable, use 12 volts. Gives you an installation diagram. And then what's included in the kit. Host display, bracket, cameras, TPMS, power cable, toolkit, some screws, and this manual. Tells you how to navigate the recorder screen. Now on the back side, it's going to tell you about TPMS and then give you a link. It looks like it's the bidget mobile app to get access to the recordings. We'll throw that aside. So the first thing you're greeted with is the host display. And it's wrapped in a protective cover. We'll set that aside for now. And then next is the accessory box. So I'm going to get everything out and then we'll go through it. So typical for a budget system, everything's delivered kind of in sandwich bags. I'll just pull everything out. And let's look it over. So let's start off with the host display. We'll take the plastic covering off. Alright, so there you have it. A 5.99 inch or 6 inch display. It seems to be of decent build quality. Again, this is the same device that's known as the Gallop Sprite D8 Pro. You have a cover here that's fastened with 2 Phillips head screws, the typical small screws, and this will be where you have your SD card. Let's see if I have I don't have my screwdriver nearby, so I won't open it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's open it up, see what's in there. Okay, it does have a waterproof plug. Looks like it's a single plug. It's not easy to get out, just a good sign. Let's see if I can pull it out with this. Can't grab it. Oh, here we go. Alright, here we go. Okay, so it does have a USB debug port, and then the SD card. They did promise me a free SD card, so the SD card is in there. I'll slide it out real quick. Always kind of tricky to get these out. And it's a very generic 64 gigabyte memory card. So I'll put that back in. But they did design a pretty robust seal for that. So I like that so far. Except the cover kind of moves around a little bit in there. You gotta line it up. Okay, SD card back in. Has an aluminum bracket on the back, which is pretty nice. It's not plastic. And then you have 4 pretty beefy screws here that capture the vibration isolation washers on the bracket. So that's kind of nice. It looks like the rear cover is plastic with a metal body between the rear cover and the screen. So it does have some aluminum body. It has a little blink off here. Now what you can do, I'm going to show you in a minute, you can remove this, and they provide a bracket where you can actually put the forward facing camera and mount it right on the device. Okay, 3 leads, front and rear camera, and power. Pretty straightforward. So let's now go through the rest of the kit. I'll start over here with the power cable. So we have a 3-wire, 3-lead power cable. So you have red for battery, black for ground, yellow for accessory, and then the power cable is fused and has a 2-amp fuse installed. And then your typical little watertight connectors that are used on most of the devices these days. Next, we'll move on to the bracket. So it looks like you get 1, 2, 3 sets of bushings to accommodate varying bar sizes up to about, looks like a 20, 25, maybe 30 millimeter. And then here's your bracket. So this is very similar to the Alien Rider bracket. You have the 2 clamps that mount to the bar, then the long bolt that captures the small bracket that will go in to the device rear bracket, and then everything tightens up and mounts the host display that way. I'm not a fan of that bracket design. It's a, just a little bit of extra work to get it all tightened up in the beginning, and then generally it's pretty good. But I do have them occasionally bind, and they don't want to tighten up, and they're okay. They work all right, but not the best. Okay, now we have 2 cameras. So they don't really tell you anything about the cameras. They're 1080p cameras. Plastic bases. Very little meat on these compared to other cameras that I've seen delivered in kits. Not the most robust design, pretty generic. They do have the typical GoPro type pivot, not GoPro size. So you can loosen that and then rotate your camera in these housings for alignment. And the front and rear cameras are the same with what looks like are about 2-foot pigtails. And then they also give you a wrench, Allen wrench, to tighten your pivot points. A couple of 3M VHB bonding strips, and then 4 screws if you want to mechanically affix your cameras to your motorcycle in some way. 1 extension cable for the rear camera. Looks like these are going to be the same pinout as Alien Rider, so I may be able to put an Alien Rider camera on here for comparison. We'll find out when we get to the bench test. And then we have a little box that has your 2 TPMS sensors. These look pretty much like all the other TPMS sensors. They have a removable top for battery replacement, and then the Schrader mount. They're labeled AB, front wheel, rear wheel, and then 2 locking nuts with the wrench for security. And then lastly, we have some tools, 3 sizes of Allen wrenches, likely for the bar mount, some zip ties, a little tiny screwdriver for the micro SD cover, and then here is a plastic camera mount that will allow you to mount the front-facing camera here on the back of the unit. Where'd it go? Oh, over here. So you can remove this blank off and then use this mount and then mount your camera here so it's actually on the display if that's convenient for your bike. So there you have it. Seems like okay kit as far as build and feel for the product. Cameras maybe look a little weak. TPMS is the same as all the others. You know, I thought this might be kind of an N1 clone, but I don't have an N1 Pro, but I'm gonna guess that it looks to me like this is not up to NOF standards, but maybe just a copy of the design, but not necessarily the build materials. But I don't really know. I don't have an N1 Pro, but it is similar in design. So next, we're going to hook this thing up to the power supply on the bench and see how it works on the bench.